po ata sa ibang
Okay? So again, para lang fair sa inyong lahat, lalo na sa inyong dalawang section na una, okay, wag niyo ng padaliin ang buhay ng ibang section. Okay? Sige. Let's start. So you have your handouts. Okay, our topic for today is change management. Okay, so first of all, why is change management important? Okay, so in the lab or in any organization, there will always be change. Okay, laging may mga pagbabago, may mga ini-implement na change. Okay, so for us to be able to transition to that change smoothly without any issue, okay, na maayos yung pagta-transition natin from kung anong nakasanayan into adapting to a new change, okay, change management is important. Wait lang ha. Ayan. So we have four types of change. So later sa madulo na natin define talaga, i-establish yung definition ng change management. So unahin natin yung four types of change. We have operational changes. Okay? So this can influence the way dynamic business tasks are led, including the computerization of a specific business segment. So this will affect how daily tasks are done, like pag-i-incorporate ng computerization, okay, to use technology to improve a part of the business. Strategic change. So this will occur when the business direction in relation to its vision, mission, and philosophy is altered. For example, meron tayong vision statement. Okay? So anything that is related to the vision statement or the mission statement. Okay? Anything related to that. Tapos pag may pagbabago, ang tawag po doon ay strategic change. So this change is the overall direction, kumbaga. Okay? Overall direction ng business, such as altering its goals or its mission. For example, sa ating College of Medical Laboratory Science, yung meron tayong vision and mission statement ng OLFU. Meron din tayong vision and mission statement ng College of Medical Laboratory Science. Ang sabi doon, okay, that we are aiming to be the prime educational facility or educational institution by the year 2025. So prior to that, may mga revisions yun. Okay? And before tayo adapt to the strategic change of implementing new rules, new strategies para ma-achieve natin yung goal natin to be one of the best na medtech schools in the Philippines by 2025. Okay? So nagbago po sila ng kanilang mga ways para ma-achieve yun. For example, ginalingan ng mga prof natin sa MTAP. Okay? MTAP is our screening bago kayo makagraduate. Kaya yun po ang ating pinaka bread and butter kung bakit maganda ang rating natin sa board exam. Okay? Through that, na-achieve na natin yung, konti-konti, na-achieve na natin yung goal natin to be one of the most trusted institutions for medical technology schools in the country. Okay, ang tawag po dun strategic change. If there is any change in relation to vision, mission, and philosophy. For cultural change, okay, so this influence the internal organizational culture. So this can impact the way people in the company interact and work together. So kung anong nakasanayan, okay, kung may change doon, ang tawag doon ay cultural change. So kung may pagbabago sa internal nating culture, okay, so that can also affect the company's direction. Okay, ang tawag po doon ay cultural change. And there are also political changes in human resources, and this occur primarily due to political reasons of varying types. So may mga pamumulitika, may mga palakasan. Okay, so hindi natin maiiwasan yan. There are always mga pamumulitika kahit sa mga human resource or sa pag-e-employ ng trabaho. Alam niyo yung backer system, okay? Kung sino yung backer mo, kung malakas ang backer mo, okay? So pamumulitika po yun. Pag malakas ang backer mo, matanggap ka sa company, kahit ikaw, yung credentials mo hindi naman super nice compared dun sa mga nagko-compete for one job position. Pero kung malakas ang backer niya, malakas ang backer mo, syempre kung sinong malakas yung backer, siya yung mapapaboran. Okay, so that is a political change that occur in the human resource. So this can affect the decisions on how people are managed or hired. Okay? So targets of change, we have here 4. Okay, so for human resource, okay, ang target ng change when it comes to human resource, okay, so una, investment in training and development. So ano po to? Okay, so this means the company or the organization is going to invest para mag-training and ma-further enhance yung skills ng kanilang mga employees. So this means they're gonna spend money, they're gonna spend time to help employees to learn new skills and improve their abilities. Socializing employees into the organizational culture. So this involves helping new employees understand and fit into the company's way of doing things. For example, if may bago kayong hire, kakausapin niyo yung newly hired yung employee, ituturuan niyo sila kung paano 'to ginagawa, ano yung right way, ano yung fast way, mga ganyan. Okay, so kung ano yung culture or yung nakasanayan ng mga empleyado in one company, okay, so ituturo nila yan. So that's still under human resource. Changing organizational norms and values to motivate a multicultural and diverse workforce. Is, for example, sa America, sa US, iba-ibang klaseng tao yung andon, coming from different parts of the world. Okay, so, ang mga yan, iba-iba naman yung culture niyan, iba-iba yung beliefs niyan. So, if you are under one organization, you are going to change or you are going to let them adapt kung ano yung nakasanayan. Okay, so this means you're gonna adjust the company's you're gonna adjust them, or maybe you can also adjust your company's rules para mas supported nyo yung isa't isa, para ma-motivate nyo yung iba-ibang group of employees to be able to work as one. For example, yung mga hindi sanay makipag-interact sa opposite gender kasi nga gusto nila na they can only work with the same na gender. Okay? So if you are in a big and multicultural organization, you have to see beyond that. You have to be able to adapt to your new environment, work environment rather. Okay, so that is how that is one way of motivating a multicultural and diverse workforce. What else? Promotion and reward systems. Okay, so this is how the company will decide kung sino yung mapopromote, kung sino yung ma-reward. Okay? As we all know, motivation will always help employees to perform better. Changing the composition of the top management team. Okay, so this will also involve kung paano babaguhin, kung sino yung in charge, kung sino yung magro-rotate as bagong, let's say, bagong manager. Okay? Kasi hindi po sa lahat ng oras fixed po ang posisyon sa trabaho. May mga rotation po yung mangyayari. Okay? So in that rotation na mangyayari, of course, it will also come with changes in how the company will be managed. Okay, so kasali din po yun sa change under human resources. For functional resources naman, so this is where you transfer resources to functions where most value can be created in response to environmental changes. So you are reallocating your resources kung saan siya pinakakailangan. For example, nung COVID pandemic, okay, yung mga PPE natin, okay, lahat tayo may PPE sa lab. Pero priority natin yung nasa frontline, yung mga nagsa-swab. Okay, so sila yung prioritize nun kasi yun yung pinakakailangan nila. Okay, so that is a functional resource. You reallocate what you have and give it to those who need it most. An organization can improve the value that its functions create by changing its structure, culture, and technology. So, pwede kayong mag, pwedeng mag, sorry, pwede ang organization magbago ng functions na mas maayos, mas ayusin nila yung function nila by adjusting to a new structure, to a new culture, and to new developed technologies. Okay, so yun po for human resource and functional resource. Third, technological capabilities. So efforts intended to give an organization the capacity to change itself in order to exploit market opportunities. So for example, a diagnostic lab. Okay, may isang freestanding na diagnostic laboratory. Nag-invest sila sa advanced PCR technology to offer molecular testing services. Okay, so dati wala silang molecular services. Pero ngayon, marami ng researchers, marami ng students na kailangan ng molecular facility. So itong previously na normal lang na routine laboratory, nag-invest sila sa mas makabagong PCR technology to cater those who are in need for PCR technology. For example, mga researchers natin, mga scientists natin, for example. Okay, same din po yan sa adoption and use of new technologies. So for example, yung lab na pinagtatrabahuan mo, sanay kayo nagma-manual counting lang. Pero since may bagong technology na meron na tayong mga automated machines, automated analyzers, okay, so yung ibang lab, syempre nag invest sila doon para mas mapadali ang routine blood tests nila. Okay, development of new products or technologies and the changing of existing ones. Is for example, may laboratory na nag-develop ng new type of assay to detect a specific disease. For example, dati TROP-I yung ginagamit. Okay? Ngayon, na-discover na myoglobin na ang pinaka-specific na cardiac marker for heart attack. Okay? So, may mga further researchers tayo na nagdi-discover ng new ways to adapt and para baguhin yung mga nakasanayan na may mas effective naman pala. Okay? And technological capabilities are a core competence. So syempre, if your organization is able to invest or is able to use technology, syempre, it is an indispensable tool para maging competent yung organization ninyo. For organizational capabilities naman, so changing organizational design such as the culture and structure. For example, kagaya ng quiz natin or sa topic natin nung una, hindi yung ito nung last week. Okay, so from a pyramid structure, nagpalit sila sa flat. Kasi sa pyramid structure, siguro ko ayaw nila ng mga dinidiscuss sa kanila ng boss nila. Okay, so nag-change sila to a flat structured organization to encourage collaboration. Kasi nga sa flat na organization, even those under low level management positions, yung opinion nila, okay, binavalue din. Okay, so yan po, yung changing organizational design. Changing strategy. Okay, so for example, yung laboratory, nag-shift sila ng routine na tests. Pinalitan nila to molecular based. Okay? Lalo na nung pandemic. Okay, from normal na CBC, normal na urinalysis, normal na fecalysis nilang ginagawa, nagbago sila ng i-o-offer sa mga tao. Since nung nag-pandemic nga, maraming nagpapa-swab test, maraming nagpapa-rapid antigen test. Okay, so you change based on what the patients need. Okay? And changes that permeate the entire organization. Of course, when there is implementation of a new quality management system, okay, so lahat ng yun, lahat ng results nyo, lahat ng processes nyo, nagiging consistent, nagiging standardized. Kasi there is a change that affects the entire organization. Okay, so yun yung target ng change natin. We have 4, we have human resources, we have functional resources, we have technological capabilities, and organizational capabilities. Okay, so change management. Okay, change is inevitable and pervasive. Okay, so hindi maiiwasan na may magbabago. Okay, lagi kailangang mag-adapt to changes. Again, change management is important for us to be able to adapt to this transition na maayos, okay, walang problema. Okay, so organizations are driven to change in order to respond to the many pressures that they encounter from their environment. And they usually need to respond to global competition. Okay, so there is always competition from other businesses around the world. So in order for their organization or for their business to thrive, they should be able to adapt to global competition. What else? Changes in customer demand. Okay, so kung anong gusto ni customer. Okay, so that is one pressure kung bakit nagkakaroon ng change. What else? Technological advances. Okay? Bagong teknolohiya, bagong kagamitan, bagong tools. Okay? New legislation. Okay? Pag may gumagawa ng bagong laws, may gumagawa ng bagong regulations. So, in order for you to be able to comply to this new legislation, you have to be able to you have to be able to know how to manage this change. Okay? So these are the pressures that usually are considered pag nagkakaroon ng change. Global competition, changes in customer demand, technological advances, and new laws and regulations or new legislation. So ang sabi dito, change management has been an evolving science for over 100 years. With its earliest beginnings rooted in health and job-related grief studies. So matagal na daw po ang change management. Okay? Usually, Today, most change management processes, especially those designed to drive business information, draw inspiration from fields such as behavioral and social sciences and IT and business solutions. So most of the change management processes daw, kumukuha sila ng inspiration from different fields such as behavioral and social sciences, also in IT and business solutions like in psychology, social science, and technology. So they are considering these factors para mag-adapt to change management. Okay? And there are a wide range of change management process models to explore and consider, each with their own strategic approaches based on the expertise and experiences of their developers. So marami daw pong iba-ibang models developed by experts. Lahat ng experts na yon may kanya-kanya silang specialty, may kanya-kanya silang expertise. So with those knowledge na na-combine, so yun yung pinagbabasehan natin kung paano natin i-handle yung change management, kumbaga. Okay? So they all have their unique strategies to help organizations manage change in a way na very helpful, very effective. Sorry. Okay, so yan lang po yung ibig sabihin ng sa change management. Matagal na daw siya and yung basis niya lagi ay yung ito sila behavioral and social sciences, IT and business solutions. Yung ugali ng tao, yun yung basehan nila for change management. Also in new technologies that are being discovered. Okay, so siyempre, uh, behavioral and social sciences are always going to affect how a business will work. Also, technological advancements are also considered. Okay, and since there are a wide range of change management processes, isa lahat ng yan may mga dinevelop yung experts natin, yung mga philosophers natin, kumbaga. So since they have their own special expertise, information na nagather nila, lahat ng expertise nila, okay? So that is all the basis ng change management natin. Okay, so una, we have Lewin's four-skilled theory of change. So ang sabi ni Lewin, okay, so he argues that two sets of opposing forces or magkaibang forces within an organization will determine how change will take place. So una, we have forces for change. So these are forces that support change and forces that make organizations resistant to change. So, ang mga forces that prevent change, okay? Ayaw nilang magbago. So, yung dalawang yan, there are always, yung dalawang to, these are two opposing forces in an organization that determine kung paano yung pagbabago i-implement. Okay, when forces for and against change are equal, the organization is in a state of inertia. Okay? Inertia is when these forces are equal, itong forces for change and forces that prevent change, pag parehas sila, walang mangyayari sa organization. Wala kasing nagpa-pressure for change. Okay, so ibig sabihin, the organization will stay the same. And to change an organization, the managers must increase forces to change, forces for change, and decrease forces resisting change. So we have here driving forces and restraining forces or barriers. Okay, so driving forces, we have here considered as problems or opportunities that provide motivation for change. For example, okay, so driving forces, example, pagbigay ka ng small reward sa laboratory staff kasi may bago kayong new testing method. Pero yung bagong testing method na yun, ayaw gamitin ni laboratory staff kasi nga hindi siya sanay. Pero since magbibigay ka ng reward sa kanya, okay, so that is a driving force. Mas mamamotivate siyang gamitin yung bago niyang method. For example, dati, manual method lang yung alam niya. Okay, so ayaw niya nang mag-adapt to the automated method kasi nga hindi siya sanay. Pero pag sabihin mo sa kanya, "Oy, may reward ka if ito yung gamitin mo." Siyempre mas maeengganyo siyang gamitin yung bagong method which is your automation. Okay? And for the restraining forces or your barriers, so these are your lack of resources, resistance from middle managers. Okay, what else? Inadequate employee skills. So for example, you have to decrease the forces that resist change. So dito, kaysa lack of resources, here you can use or you can borrow equipment from another department, okay, to cover up for the lack of resource. What else? You can provide them with clear instructions and the help kung paano gamitin yung bagong method na discover nyo. Okay? And also, kung meron kayong multiple employees, you pair the less experienced employees with a more skilled colleague para mas may senior tapos may ginagabayan siyang junior na employee. Okay? So yung expertise ni senior employee will cover up for the lack of experience ni junior employee. Okay, so these are the driving forces and the restraining forces. So ang sabi again ni Lewin, okay, so pag magkaparehas lang yung forces for change and forces that make organizations resistant to change, walang magbabago. So dapat may mag-pressure sa kanila para may change na mangyari. Okay? So, kasi kung walang nag-i-influence ng forces for change or walang nagbabawas ng resistance to change, so wala talagang mangyayari. The organization will stay the same. Okay? For Kurt Lewin's three-step unfreeze, change, refreeze model, so sabi lang dito that Kurt Lewin is the founder of social psychology in the 1950s, and it's still highly relevant today kasi ito yung ginagamit as basis for many change management strategies. Ang sabi niya dito, okay, yung unfreeze, change, refreeze model niya is a classic change management framework that includes 3 steps. So una yung unfreezing. Okay, so friction causes change, reduction of forces to support the status quo. So here, you unfreeze what's norm, what is the, kung anong nakasanayan. Okay, so you prepare the organization for change. Okay, you break down the norm of the status quo or kung ano yung nakasanayan. Okay, so since prepared na yung organization para magbago, doon mo na i-implement yung change. That is where you're going to create new behavior. That's where you're going to introduce new methods, new culture, and so on and so forth. And aside from that, you also have to create culture that's going to support yung pagbabagong in-introduce mo. Okay, so if you introduce a new behavior, you have to implement the processes as well. Okay, para alam ng mga tao mo kung paano gagawin yung change na ginusto mo. Okay? And kapag na-implement mo na yung new processes and changes, you make it permanent na. You refreeze. Okay, so you develop new methods to get the change to stick or to make it permanent. You create support mechanisms to enhance this change. Okay, so you make the change permanent, you solidify the new changes, and you establish new norms and practices. So yun lang po, you unfreeze, you change, and then you refreeze it again. You prepare the organization for change, you introduce the change, you introduce ways to support that change, and you make it permanent. So yun lang po ibig sabihin ni Kurt Lewin sa unfreeze, change, and refreeze model niya. For ProSci's ADKAR model, okay, so this is a powerful model based on the understanding and organizational change that can only happen when individuals change. Okay, so ibig sabihin nito, for a successful change, each individual must change first. Para magbago at para maayos yung pagbabago ng isang organization, dapat yung mga tao sa loob niya magbago din. Okay, so through the ADKAR model, okay, so this focuses on individual change. So si ProSci ADKAR model, gina-guide niya yung mga individual through a particular change, and you're gonna address any roadblock or barrier points along the way. Ang sabi dito, ProSci research tells us that for changes to be successful, you must be prepared, you must be equipped, and you must support individuals moving through changes so that they successfully adopt the changes. So without adoption, changes will not be successful and we will not deliver the desired outcomes. So yun po ang purpose ni ADKAR model. ADKAR is an acronym. So we have A for awareness, D for desire, K for knowledge, A for ability, and reinforcement. So awareness for the business reasons to change. So you have to understand why the change is necessary. You have to be aware of the reasons kung bakit kailangan magbago ng isang organization. Desire to engage and participate in the change. So you have to want to participate in and support the change. Knowledge about how to change. You have to know how to make the change happen. You have to be able to implement the change. You have to be able to have the skills and the resources to implement the change. And reinforcement to ensure that the change sticks or to make sure that the change remains permanent. Okay? So yan po ang ibig sabihin ni ADKAR. Again, ADKAR model is a guide. Okay? Guide kung paano, kumbaga, gagabayan yung isang tao para magbago. Okay? Kasi pag gusto ng organization magbago ang org nila, okay, dapat yung mga tao within that organization should change as well. Kaya andyan si ADKAR model para gabayan yung mga taong sa pagbabago nila. Okay, to ensure a smooth transition. Again, this is ADKAR. It's an acronym. Nandiyan yan sa handouts. We also have we also have Kotter's 8-step model of change. This is developed by John Kotter from Harvard Business School. So he focuses on change management in a competitive world. Okay, so these highlights include building a strong collaborative team. Okay, to build a strong and cooperative team, you develop effective communication channels. Okay, you set up good ways to communicate. You support staff empowerment to empower staff to take ownership of their change. What else? To use a phased and steady approach. Okay? Phased and steady approach, ibig sabihin gradual approach. So, hindi biglaan. Okay? And you ensure that the change within, you secure the change within an organization's culture. So, you ensure the change that, you make sure that the change becomes part of the company's culture. Okay, so para ma-embed kumbaga yung change na 'to or yung pagbabago na 'to sa bagong culture ng organization. So ito po yung 8 step niya. Una, you highlight the urgency, why change is so necessary, what's so important about this change, bakit siya kailangan. You build the team, you select the people who will implement the change, okay? You define the new vision to see how things should and will be, okay? You share the vision, you communicate this vision that you have. You tell the people how things will be and bakit. You encourage them to act. Okay, you give them good reasons to change. You create quick wins. Okay, you establish achievable goals para whenever there is a goal na na-achieve, okay, na motivate yung employees mo to achieve more. Okay, you create quick wins. Okay, yung small wins nating tinatawag. You track the progress, okay? You measure and evaluate the change, and you strengthen the change. So you make the change part of the culture. Okay, so itong 8 steps na to, ito lang po yun. So, okay? So ito yung 8 step ni Kotter. 8 step model of change niya. So change management daw, okay, is a series of tools, techniques, and processes aimed at successfully implementing change. And these tools and techniques can be applied in various contexts and often supports other initiatives, such as Una Six Sigma. So this is a quality improvement tool aimed in reducing defects. CRM or customer relationship management. Okay, so that has something to do with customer data. Okay? Customer data na binigay ni customer sa uh, kinuha niyang service provider. Okay? So CRM, Customer Relationship Management or customer data na in-entrust ng customer sa iyo as the person who's gonna manage their data. Okay? Total Quality Management. So this is for continuous improvement and enterprise applications such as SAP or systems, applications, and products in data processing. Okay, so these are different applications where we can use change management. And according to James Downey, okay, so describe niya that common tools and techniques that a change management practitioner might use during a change initiative, including questioning skills to gather information about the as is and to be status of the business process. So when we say as is or yung current, to be is yung future nila. Okay? So you are gathering information about the current and yung future na status na gusto nyo. Okay? You also you do process mapping for both the current and the future processes. So there should be a visual representation of the processes, both ng current and ng future nyong gustong gawin. Okay? There's also gap analysis. Okay? You identify the differences in those processes. Business case development. You justify the investment that you made. Okay, so in any business naman, there is always investments. So you have to be able to develop and justify why you made those investments. Okay, and when you make investments, you make executions through project management. You have to be able to manage on how those investments are processed. Okay? Problem solving or yung issue resolution ninyo whenever there is something that arises from this change and negotiation skills, okay, to reach an agreement. Okay, so yan po ang common tools and techniques that a change management practitioner might use during change initiative. Pag may pagbabago, ito dapat yung pwedeng gamitin ng isang management practitioner. You have to be able to question skills and gather information about the current and the future status ng business niyo. Okay? You have to be able to visually represent those processes. You have to identify differences in those processes. You develop business cases. You plan to execute the project management. You should be able to identify resolution on those issues that may arise during initiative of change, and you should be able to have this negotiation skills to reach an agreement. Isa yan po ang change management natin. So that ends the presentation. Okay, so very ano lang siya, very definition based, or you just stick to definitions lang. Not so much of an explanation. So medyo maiksi lang yung topic natin. Okay, do you have questions? Okay, so don't complicate things. Yun lang po ang ating last na discussion. So siguro ko after ng